Here's a scenario you might recognize. Your board just voted against fixing a resident's peeling exterior paint because it wasn't in this year's budget. The very next day, your management company calls with some news. That same resident filed a Better Business Bureau complaint. Since they couldn't file against the condo association itself, they went after your management company instead. Now everyone's caught in a messy situation that could damage relationships and your community's reputation. If you've been on a board for any length of time, you've probably seen something like this happen. So what's really going on here? The BBB gives residents a way to report issues with businesses, including your management company. And while your condo association could technically seek BBB accreditation, most don't. It's usually just the management companies that maintain BBB membership. And this creates an awkward situation. Your management partner pays those BBB fees and has to respond to every complaint, even when they're just following your board's decisions, or they have zero authority to change it. Residents often file against the management company because it's easier than working through proper association channels. Before you know it, you've got a complicated mess affecting everyone in your community. Let me walk you through what happens when a BBB complaint gets filed. Your management company gets notified and has to respond fast. We're talking days, not weeks. But here's the kicker. That's just the beginning. The resident who complained has to agree to close the matter. If they refuse, which happens all the time when it involves a board decision like that peeling paint repair, the BBB keeps that case open. That means more responses, more back and forth, maybe even formal mediation. Think about what that means for your community. Your management company's facing a reputation hit for simply doing what your board instructed. They're stuck between an angry resident expectations and the association's policies, budget limitations, and governing documents. Here's something many boards don't realize. Most management contracts require your association to cover legal expenses when your management company faces issues resulting from their contracted duties. So your community might end up paying those BBB defense costs, or worse, fighting with your management company about who's responsible. As volunteer board members with limited time, you might not be able to get involved in this drawn-out process, leaving your management partner hanging and potentially creating more financial risk for everyone. So how much weight should your board give to BBB membership when you're selecting a management company? It's a good question with a nuanced answer. On one hand, a management company with BBB accreditation is making a public commitment to resolve disputes and maintain ethical standards. That's certainly a positive sign. They're putting their reputation on the line and agreeing to be accountable in a very visible way. On the other hand, a company without BBB membership isn't necessarily less ethical or responsive. Some excellent management companies choose not to participate because of the costs involved and because they've developed their own robust complaint resolution systems. The smarter approach is to look beyond the BBB seal and ask specific questions. How do you handle resident complaints? Can we see examples of your communication protocols? What happens when a resident is unhappy with a board decision you're implementing? These questions will tell you far more about a company's values and processes than their BBB status alone. So what can you do about all this? First, recognize that your management company is often placed in impossible positions, caught between following your directives and satisfying resident demands. When a BBB complaint happens, they're fighting to maintain their reputation over decisions they didn't even make. Remember, in your community, the board makes the big decisions. Your management partner simply implements them. That's why clear communication is absolutely critical. When residents understand which decisions come from the board versus the management company, they're less likely to file misguided complaints. However, that situation with the peeling paint did happen. That management company was placed in a very poor position. They were following board directives. The BBB was trying to get the management company to go beyond the board's directives and repaint or commit to repaint the building. And this was the middle of winter in the northern climates. And the resident was claiming that there was a race issue, ethnic race issue that was involved in the decision, which in fact was not the case. And the resident would not permit the BBB to close out the complaint. So if you think this is just a simply made up scenario, I assure you it is not. There was a community that suffered through this situation and a management company as well. Consider creating a straightforward complaint process that residents must follow before going to external agencies. Make it clear which issues need board approval and which ones management can handle on their own. Document everything and be transparent about timelines and budgetary constraints. A little proactive communication can prevent a lot of headaches down the road. Look, management companies engage with the BBB for good reasons. They want to show their commitment to ethical practices and responsiveness. These are qualities you should absolutely look for when selecting a management partner. But this BBB relationship creates both opportunities and challenges. What really matters is having a clear procedure for handling resident complaints, defining who has authority over what, and keeping communication open throughout your community. If I can leave you with one practical tip, it's this. Develop a formal complaint resolution process that guides your residents through proper channels before they even think about going to the BBB. Make sure everyone knows which decisions require board approval and which ones your management company can handle on its own. In the end, a strong partnership between your board and management company is your best defense in these situations. When you work together effectively, you create a healthier community that everyone can call home. If you found this perspective valuable, we invite you to connect with us. Facebook viewers, like our page and follow us for regular updates. Feel free to message us directly with your questions or community challenges. Instagram viewers, hit follow and feel free to DM us with your questions or community challenges. YouTube viewers, subscribe to our channel and check out the video description for helpful links. Visit our website to discover our thought leadership content, books, and resources that can transform your community management approach. Whether you're dealing with the challenges we discussed today or other community issues, we're here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.